Thanks, Adrian. Good evening, everyone. And after Super Bowl Sunday, it's Merseyside Monday. The Goodison Blues touchdown at the Anfield Reds, with both struggling to put points on the board. Everton's win last weekend was their first for 4 months. Liverpool's 2023 has been no fun at all. 1 goal and 1 point. It's the worst record in the league. They might need these fans tonight. But Derby Day usually goes their way, and Jurgen Klopp, who's got more problems than an NFL team has players, needs to post 3 points, and he needs his underperforming forwards to start scoring, because right now the trend suggests they will finish in their lowest position for 70 years. It's a bit different to the almost all-conquering group of last year that came so close to winning the whole lot. Spine-tingling atmosphere for the 242nd Merseyside derby. Everton also need inspiration, need points, need goals. But when trouble comes, you can always call in the special teams. And Everton's new boss is no rookie when it comes to relegation fights. He gave them a bounce last week. He's got history here. Sean Dyche ended Liverpool's 68-game unbeaten Premier League run when his Burnley side turned them over 1-0 2 years ago, and they've already won the toss and turned Liverpool round and made them attack the Kop in the first half rather than where they prefer to shoot in the first period away to our left and the Annie Road end. Liverpool in red attacking the goal away to our right, the Kop end in the first half. And Everton in blue shirts, white shorts, white socks, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side, the Annie Road end. Our referee is Simon Hooper. And before we start, as part of the No Room for Racism campaign, all the players take the knee to send a message that football is for all. Simon Hooper makes sure that everybody is ready, and then we're off and underway in the 242nd Merseyside derby. Tomorrow night, we've got European football returning in the Champions League Tuesday and Wednesday night. And then on Thursday, it's Barcelona against Manchester United from the Europa League. But it's Pride and Premier League points at stake on game night tonight. And Danny Murphy, who scored a winner at Goodison Park 20 years ago in a Merseyside derby. And Kevin Campbell, who's one of few Everton strikers to actually have a good time here on this ground.
Yeah, and you know what? The atmosphere is electric, which is fantastic as always. But this is a game that Everton have to make sure they keep themselves in, because we know what can happen and what usually happens at Anfield.
What advice would you give to Liverpool players starting this game tonight?
Just keep doing the simple things well. Move the ball quickly, plenty of energy without the ball. Play with confidence. You don't turn into a bad side over a period of a couple of months. You just got to work your way back through the basics. Keep getting the ball forward as quickly as possible. This Everton side's not going to come out and press high.
Ball is out over on the far side. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second. Ellis Sims has just nudged the ball off Fabinho. It goes out of play for a Liverpool throw, though. Alisson is the Liverpool goalkeeper. It's Alexander-Arnold, Matip Gomez and Robertson the back four. Fabinho, Bajcetic and Henderson in the middle of the park. And then it's Gakpo and Salah flanking Nunez, who's the point man. Tackle by Fabinho on Andre Onana in the centre of the park. and it's a free kick given on halfway to Everton, who have Jordan Pickford in goal, Coleman, Cody, Tarkowski and Mikolenko. Coleman making his 400th appearance for Everton today. Doucouré, Gay, Anana, the three in that central area, with McNeil and Iwobi tucking in from the flanks, and Ellis Sims, who's back from Sunderland where he's been on loan, leading the line. The free kick will be taken by Cody, just short of the halfway line, just inside the centre circle. It's floated right-footed towards the edge of the penalty area. Tarkowski heads it down and towards goal, and it goes straight behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And set pieces for Everton, important last week obviously, and they're going to be important again tonight, you would have thought.
Really crucial. Everton take good set pieces, good dead balls. I think watching Liverpool at Brentford, especially where Liverpool couldn't defend the set pieces, I think Sean Dyche is going to try and play like that.
Yeah, they couldn't defend anything last week, Danny Murphy, when they were at Wolverhampton Wanderers. They were all over the place.
They were. I think what's interesting is Darwin Núñez on the left with Gakpo through the middle. I was hoping it'd be the other, but it looks like Núñez has got a bit of licence to go and cause problems. And the other big interesting battle for me tonight is McNeil against Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've seen him give Trent a tough time when he was at Burnley, one particular game here, so that's going to be interesting to see how Trent copes with McNeil.
Ball cleared away from the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, high up into the night sky here on Merseyside. It drops in midfield. Bajcetic wins a good header ahead of Doucouré, and Doucouré ends up giving away a free kick on halfway, and it's a Liverpool ball. Abdoulaye Doucouré, who was out of the picture under Frank Lampard, 200th Premier League appearance today. He was actually in the Watford team that beat the eventual title-winning Liverpool by 3-0 back in 2020. Alexander-Arnold takes it to the halfway line, right side, right in front of the dugouts, where Jurgen Klopp and Sean Dyche are right on the edge of the perimeter of their technical areas, barking instructions at their teams in the opening 3.5 minutes of this game. It is 0-0, live on Talksport on game night. And remember, there's live football for you throughout the week here, every single night this week. It's absolutely cracking, the amount of football we can bring you on Talksport and Talksport 2. Ball up towards the edge of the penalty area for Liverpool. Matip flying one towards Cody Gakpo. It's over his head and just scoots through to the arms of Jordan Pickford away to our right-hand side. Liverpool blown away in 12 minutes against Wolves last week. Jurgen Klopp said, we caused our own misery. They will need to be more robust today. And Sean Dyche certainly has made Everton more robust. Well, he did do in the first game, and it is worth remembering he has only had one game in charge. Back to basics, work rate and style, very direct. The ball is on the right-hand side with Liverpool coming forward. Trent Alexander-Arnold chips the ball into no man's land, and inside the box, which is only populated by Darwin Núñez in Liverpool red, out striding purposefully comes Jordan Pickford, clutches the ball from the sky and then dispatches upfield towards the Everton left. McNeil, a header down, it's a miss by Matip, comes to Ellis Sims, who strikes it, hits the back of Gomez and then headed back to his goalkeeper by Bajcetic and into the arms of Alisson. Matip's had a few wobbles recently, and that was another one.
It was. He's been low on confidence, and for someone who spent so much of his Liverpool career being calm and sophisticated, that's a worry. I mean, he's got let off, hasn't he, by Elliot Sims there. It's a missed kick. He takes his touch nicely, and Gomez covers for him, gets the block in, but is a concern. One thing just quickly on Everton, it's so obvious that they're more direct, trying to get up the pitch more quickly than they did when under Frank, and I'm not criticising that. I think it's the right thing to do, Kev.
Yeah, I do. Look, trying to play through this Liverpool side who will set traps for you, and then break from there. I think hitting the front and playing up there is proper football, smart football to play right now.
23% of their passes went long in the game against Arsenal, which was their highest number in a Premier League game this season. They look more secure at the back as well, offering many fewer chances than normal, and they will be hoping to ensure that trend continues here. We played 5.5 minutes. You're listening to Talksport. It's Liverpool 0, Everton 0, live in the Merseyside derby. Jordan Pickford takes a goal kick in front of the Kop, slips as he strikes the ball to the delight of the Liverpool fans in the Kop over away to our right-hand side. And there was a foul, or in fact it was an offside flag, I think.
Offside, Ellis.
And it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool, and they're going to try and build from the back. Matip across towards the halfway line. He strides over it down the right side. Right on the touchline on this near side was Alexander-Arnold, but Salah had come infield and then skated in between Tarkowski and Gay, tried to get a shot away, didn't get any power behind it because he was immediately under pressure from Tarkowski, and it goes behind and away eventually goes into the arms of Pickford, who kept it from going for a corner kick, and it's back in the arms of the Everton goalkeeper. But that was a little bit too easy, I think, for Salah to move away from the Everton defence. Here's Ellis Sims at the other end, getting into the Liverpool box, holding the ball up well, tucking it back to McNeil. McNeil trying to get a cross in. Alexander-Arnold blocks it. The second ball is won by Alexander-Arnold, and he heads it up towards Salah. Midway point of the Liverpool half. Into Gakpo, it comes from Henderson. He wants it back again, Henderson. He travels up to the halfway line, then clips it into the final third, but there was no accuracy with that ball, and it was cut out easily by Everton, who managed to get it away from harm's way. 7 minutes gone, 0-0. Danny.
Yeah, it's been a decent start for Everton. I think they'll be pleased. I mean, that little scare from Salah getting in the box was the only little bit of joy Liverpool have had, but the directness of Everton, in behind a couple of times, again we go, trying to find Ellis Sims with those long balls and pick up the pieces, the exact right way to play. Smart football, as Kevin said, it's a good word here at Anfield. Don't give them the opportunity to come and press you.
For me, I look at Everton and I just think the lack of confidence in Liverpool should give Everton, get them on the front foot even more so, because we've seen mistakes at the back, we've seen a couple of mistakes in midfield, so this should even put you more on the front foot.
Well, Liverpool come into this game with only one more win than when Roy Hodgson was sacked after 20 games of the 2010-2011 season. That was a miserable time. Here is Matip, just short of the centre circle. He plays the ball towards the left, and it's collected by Joe Gomez. Kevin Campbell and Danny Murphy in the commentary box with me, Sam Matterface, on Talksport tonight, live from Anfield. It's pretty chilly up here in this main stand. We're right at the back of this huge, brand new second tier, which is on top of what was the original main stand below us, and away to our left we can see, building up into the sky, the new Anfield Road end, which is going to be just as huge. I mean, we used to think the Kop was massive, and now you come here and you think it's dwarfed by these two new stands that have been constructed in the last few years. It will take the capacity up again and generate more revenue, and they need to generate some more revenue because they're going to have to populate their squad with more players. That's certainly Jurgen Klopp's feeling as he tries to rebuild this team. The ball is up over the halfway line. Pickford kicks it away after being chased down by Cody Gakpo. Henderson onto Gakpo, a little flick forward, and onto Nunez. Nunez now scampering towards the edge of the area. He shrugs off one defender. Coleman then feeds the ball into Salah. Goes down on the edge of the box. Was it in the box? Was it just on the line? It was just on the line according to Simon Hooper. It was very close, and VAR will look at it because it is a matter of geography. And remember, the line belongs to the penalty box.
I think it's just outside. We'll double check. But Nunez coming off that left hand side is going to be a problem. When does Coleman pass him on? He tries to stay with him this time. Is Tarkowski coming out? Yeah, it's outside the box.
Yeah, he's outside the box. It's a good spot from Simon Hooper, who saw the challenge from Tarkowski. He's penalised it in the right area. It gives Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah the chance to have a conversation about who's better placed to take it. As a free kick man yourself, which one should?
I believe the one who has the most confidence and demands it is always the way to go, irrelevant of the angle. If someone's saying to you, I've got it, I'm going to score, that's what I like to hear. That's what I used to say anyway, even though I didn't always believe it, but it made people go away.
Well, Mo Salah hasn't scored since Boxing Day, and Trent Alexander-Arnold has had a better goals ratio than he has assist ratio this campaign, so maybe it should be him. Salah is who strikes it straight into the wall, and it was low, it was firm, but it was nowhere near what was required to try and beat the Everton wall and then the goalkeeper.
It wasn't low enough, Sam. It was nothing. It wasn't a smash, it wasn't over the wall, and if you're going to go low, you've got to go on the floor. It's like a knee to waist high. It was a miss hit. It's poor.
And that's been the tail of the tape for Mo Salah, whose only goal against Everton was 5 and a bit years ago, December 2017. His numbers aren't what they were, his conversion rate significantly down, but he does have 17 goals, and 14 of those have come in his last 23 appearances. Here's the latest from the Scottish Cup 5th round. Darvel 0, Falkirk 2, Gary Oliver and Callum Morrison with the goals. Here it's 0-0. And I think Everton will be happy with their start so far, without really testing the Liverpool back line. Kevin Campbell.
Yeah, I like the way they're hitting Ellis Sims. They're not hitting him straight, they're hitting him on the angle. He's won a couple of headers and he's making himself a nuisance for the Liverpool defence. Really good play from the young man.
Talksport on a Monday evening. Alexander-Arnold getting the better of Mikalenko, trying to go down the right side. He overhit the ball, tries to chase it. Out comes Pickford, doesn't quite get hold of that. Alexander-Arnold, he couldn't chase down his own pass, and Pickford is able to clear over on the far side, the right as well. You look at it, into Cody, back to Tarkowski, who scored the opening goal of the Sean Dyche era. Couldn't write that, could you, if you tried? There was one player that was definitely going to do that. That was going to be him. And Liverpool, knowing that they have a very good record, particularly here against Everton, although Everton did win here under Carlo Ancelotti in lockdown. But I remember Carlo's words to me straight after the game: it's not really like coming to Anfield with no fans in it. Here's Darwin Núñez down the left-hand side, trying to get the better of Coleman. He's pushing and pulling and trying to bully Coleman, but Coleman did brilliantly to stand up to him, wins the ball back and releases Iwobi to the halfway line. Everton come on the attack, swept from the centre circle out to the left, and McNeil cuts in, travels centrally, then tries to play the ball to Doucouré, gets a deflection off Bajcetic, who was positioned well, and the ball flicks into the path of Núñez. Bajcetic tries to swipe it back out towards Núñez, didn't get any contacts on the ball from the edge of the centre circle, and as a result of that, Everton have won possession back again. What have you made of his contribution in the last few weeks, Stefan Bajcetic, who's come into that midfield to add a little bit of youthful exuberance?
I think he's had his moment. He's done all right. I think it's a big ask for him to keep playing him game after game. He's had moments where he struggled as well. I think needs must. There's a problem in midfield, and obviously Jurgen thinks he can give him an extra bit of bite, and he's had moments where he's shown his potential, but I still think it's a huge ask for him to keep playing game in, game out, and we'll see how he does this evening. But yeah, he's a talent, of course.
Score is Liverpool 0, Everton 0 on Talksport with Now Sports. And don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Liverpool Everton live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Ball delivered into the box by Núñez towards the edge of the penalty area, and then there's a bit of pushing and pulling going on from Robertson, involved with Doucouré. Doucouré eventually is given the foul over on the far side. The Liverpool fans all standing up and complaining, but definitely Robertson was pulling on the shirt of Doucouré, but I think he's suggesting to Simon Hooper that the same was happening to him, Kevin.
Yeah, that was the old Robinson, pressing high, making life difficult for Doucouré, but he did just grab a little bit of the shirt, and a good free kick.
It's his 250th appearance for Liverpool tonight, Andrew Robertson, and it is so far Liverpool 0, Everton 0. Ball clipped forward down the right channel. Sims thought he was fouled. The Everton fans that have made the short journey across Stanley Park. When you go to Goodison Park, you actually park just outside Anfield and walk down to Goodison. That's how close these two stadiums are. I mean, they do provide a minibus for those who don't fancy the walk, Kevin. You haven't ever got that, though, have you?
I don't think I was allowed on the minibus, if I'm honest.
You wouldn't be allowed on the minibus, no. You've got a fit young man like you, a strapping fella. You can definitely do the walk. Now, talking of fit, strapping fellas, Jordan Henderson, who played a huge number of games last year, has just gone down left side of the centre circle after being bumped off the ball, and just having a word with Simon Hooper. And they are cracking down on discipline in the Premier League. You might have seen that at Southampton Wolves at the weekend, so people careful about what they say to referees. Ball been funneled in from the left by Robertson. It's cleared away before it reaches Salah, out to the far touchline, out for a throw. In the midpoint of in the Everton half, over on the left as Liverpool look at it, Robertson throws it in back to Joe Gomez, who is playing with Joel Matip for only the second time since 2020, and they had a few issues in the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Here is Salah trying to get past Tarkowski. Don't think so, fella. And the arm came out, he shoved him to the floor. Salah went down like a sack of spuds, and a few Liverpool fans, not too far away from us, just were up in arms about that.
Yeah, it didn't look much in it to me. Good defending from Tarkowski. He's not just going to get out of the way for you, is he? That's for sure. Darwin Núñez is going to be the key for Liverpool. There's been an obvious play. There's been a few switches from right to left. They think he's physically bigger and stronger than Coleman. He's obviously quicker. That's the reason he's played him out there. We were talking about that, Kevin and I, beforehand, but I can see the reasoning and the thinking now that they've deliberately tried to get the ball to him. That's going to be a huge battle for the game tonight.
Also, when he drifts, Danny, when he drifts inside, I think he's going to be difficult to pick up.
100%.
That's what they will be hoping, and they will also be hoping, the Liverpool supporters and management team, that he can improve his shot conversion rate, because he's only scored 5 goals from 61 shots in the Premier League, which is an 8.2% conversion rate. Just for context, Erling Haaland's is 33%. Here on the right hand side, the ball played out towards Salah. Across comes Tarkowski, and he has done the full on Peter Kay put it straight into the top tier. Ball back in straight away. Nunez with the ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Gakpo was there trying to head the ball into the corner of the net, but didn't get his header right. It came at him fast, an athletic cross, an overhead kick from Darwin Nunez, as the ball was thrown in very swiftly from this right hand side after Tarkowski's clearance. Nunez re-centred the ball from the left angle of the penalty area, but Gakpo can only head it wide. I
think he was shooting. It was a missed kick cross really from the left hand side, but I like the quick thinking from Trent. Ball's gone out of play. They got into his hands quickly. Quick throw in and they're away. That's how you've got to play against an organised side. You've got to be quick in your thinking and creative.
All of a sudden, there's a couple of mistakes from the Everton back line, quick thinking from Liverpool, and there's a bit of pressure on that Everton defence.
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure now. It always happens when Liverpool get a good bit of play, a chance, and it gets the crowd up.
Alexander-Arnold, right side, trying to get the better of Mykolenko. He can't control it. The return ball from Henderson. He tries to play a little triangle down this near side, and it goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right hand side. Everton's win over Arsenal was their first at Goodison Park since a 3-0 home win against Crystal Palace back on the 16th of October. There have been so many dry days for Everton over the course of the last 6 months. Their last away win was on October the 1st, and that was against Southampton. They don't travel very well at all.
They definitely don't.
The only other win I was actually at, which was in the EFL Cup against Fleetwood earlier in the season.
Yeah, you're right. And this is what Sean Dyche is one of the things Sean Dyche has to address. You know, they have to be more consistent as a team.
Alexander-Arnold played up on the right side, midway point at the Everton half, produced a lovely cross into the box, and Pickford watched it all the way and dealt with it brilliantly, because he had to come into no man's man to gather that. He took a couple of steps outside his 6-yard box, unorthodox, and grabbed it into his chest. Danny.
Yeah, just before that, Ellis Sims had won another header, but he was isolated. Onana's got to make the effort and get the energy to get closer to him as soon as that ball goes up. Either in behind him or for the little touchdown. Can't leave him isolated, otherwise it becomes a pointless ball.
Yep, wearing 50 on his back. He did manage 2 assists whilst he was on loan at Sunderland in the Championship. He scored 10 goals in 24 at Blackpool a couple of seasons ago, 7 goals in 21 for Hearts in the SPFL. This is only his 3rd appearance since returning, and he's never scored for Everton. Here is Gay, but what they want to use him for really is a sort of platform, isn't it? Get the ball up to him, get him to hold it up, get him to get on the end of a long ball forward, and then hope that McNeil, Iwobi, Doucouré and Onana, someone's going to get around him and try to create something. One by Onana on the edge of the centre circle and poked through to Sims. Iwobi shows good feet, comes infield towards Onana again, looks to shoot, didn't look in his wing mirrors because Henderson was coming. Henderson pinched it, and then Onana slipped in on the goalkeeper, who comes out, realises that it was a little bit too much, gives him an earful. Simon Hooper is having a word with him, and he's saying that he lost his footing.
No, do you know what? He slid in, and then I'll tell you what happened there is the goalkeeper, like a man should, didn't get hit, so he stood up, carried on with the game, and diffused the whole crowd. We just don't see that often enough. Usually, if he'd have stayed rolling around 6 times, he'd have got a yellow.
Yeah.
Which is good to see, by the way. Too often we see that somebody's reaction rolling around when not even hurt. But what was promising for Everton there was Onana nicking the ball off Fabinho by being a bit further up the pitch and ready to pounce.
Darwin Nunez at the other end goes over towards the touchline, wins the ball and squeezes between a very tight gap of 2 Everton defenders, gets to the edge of the area, right-footed shot, blocked by Tarkowski on the edge of the 6-yard box, out towards the right full-back position in Iwobi, and then he and Coleman combine to get the ball away, and the Reds are up at the moment, and they fancy their chances. They can sense a little bit of blood here, 21 minutes in, 0-0 the score.
That's the out ball, isn't it? Nunez either in behind or to the chest on a switch ball, so Everton have to be very careful of that ball.
I think you're right, Kevin. Either Alex Iwobi or Idris Gueye has to get over him, cut and double up when that ball does go there, to give him a hand, because he's a handful.
Yeah.
What a dreadful start it has been to the year for Liverpool. How they need a victory. 1 point and 1 goal since the start of 2023 in the Premier League. They've had the worst start to the year than any other Premier League team, and they would be desperate to get all 3 points against their nearest rivals. Gueye forward, stopped by Fabinho. Liverpool winning the ball back a little bit higher today than they have been in recent times, and Alexander-Arnold manages to pinch it from Mykolenko, then can't feed Mo Salah. Just a little bit too heavy with his ball, Danny, but the intention is clear.
Yeah, did the hard work, didn't he?
Got it back again from Salah on the right edge of the area, cross into the box. It's not the best, it's cleared away by a diving Coleman, but only as far as Robertson. Back down the left it goes to Nunez, who chips on his right foot, pokes it back to Fabinho, encouraged to shoot. He clips it instead towards the far stick, looking for Trent Alexander-Arnold, but away with a header was Dwight McNeil. It goes back to Alexander-Arnold, whipped in by Henderson. It's a high ball and Pickford's going to come and try and punch it. He got a lot on that, and I wasn't expecting him to, in fairness, and he did, and he's managed to get it all the way up towards Ellis Sims, but it comes back again from Liverpool after good defending from Gomez. And then eventually Everton get it clear, and they do use it up to Sims, and then Sims' touch lets him down, because actually what a good move that could have been. It's a fiery old encounter. 22 and a half minutes gone. Kev, what would you have done with that ball if it had come into you?
You've got to hold it. Get hold of that ball and play a nice, neat ball back to get your team up the pitch. Ellis Sims is trying to play too quick.
Take your time, bring it down, wait for the opportunity to lay the ball off, and all of a sudden you can build from there.
Yeah, you're the only striker at the top end of the pitch. Just been defending for a long spell. Give your team a chance.
He'd actually done all right to those last 2 touches. He's maybe a little bit of it, you know, the jelly legs after your first 20 minutes. A big game for him.
Very big game for him. Bearing in mind he was playing in the Championship just before New Year. Ball is headed down by Gakpo towards the edge of the penalty area. It's scuppered away by Tarkowski towards the halfway line, and then Gomez finds Robertson, and Liverpool look to build again. This is Fabinho, just left of the centre circle. Infield it goes to the Henderson, who's the captain tonight. Across goes Matip, back to Henderson again. He's looked up there and he saw Darwin Nunez with his hand in the air, bending his run into the box. He just didn't quite get the ball out of his feet quick enough to play the ball towards the back of the 18-yard box. That would have been a great chance.
It's something that it's harder to do when you're under pressure as a team, is to be creative and risk the ball.
Salah trying to jink his way past McNeil and then past Mykolenko into the box, a low ball which is steered away by Tarkowski. Back to Henderson, who flicks it unorthodoxly towards Alexander-Arnold. It's headed away by Coleman as the ball's whipped in towards the penalty spot, and then Liverpool win it back again high up the field. Fabinho goes back to his goalkeeper. Not sure that the crowd quite wanted that. They want them to keep attacking away to our right towards the Kop. 24 gone, still goalless, but Liverpool just building up ahead of steam, and Everton have got to be on their guard. They're a team that don't win many games, they don't get many points, and boy, do they desperately need to try and get one for themselves, because they're in a precarious position. The bottom of the league is very congested. Saints stranded at the bottom, 3 points adrift of Bournemouth, but about to get a new manager. There are 4 teams above them that are all separated by 2 points. And this is one of those. Ellis Sims loses his footing again inside the area away to our left as Liverpool look to play out from the back through Alisson, then Matip, and then he fires that in at rapid speed towards Nunez. He tried to cushion that onto Gakpo, couldn't hold on to it. It's away by Tarkowski, but Bajcetic has won the ball ahead of Onana. It's dropped in the Everton half. Gueye wrestling with Gakpo. Alexander-Arnold saw McNeil coming and quickly funneled the ball back to Matip. The atmosphere starting to rev up again inside, with a chance of allay ringing around this famous old ground. It's on to Robertson. That is an agricultural challenge by Alex Iwobi, and that's going to be a free kick 6 yards outside the penalty area, left side for Liverpool.
Robertson at his best, that is. 1v1 with a wide man, pushing the ball past the wide man and letting him defend, and Alex Iwobi couldn't defend. Good position for Liverpool to stick a good ball into the box.
2 Everton wide players have got to do a little bit more when they've got the ball. Yeah, got to demand the ball and keep it for the team. They've both got pace, both dribble, both get the team up the pitch.
Free kick to Liverpool over on the far side then, and Alexander-Arnold will whip this into dangerous territory. And taking command was James Tarkowski. Out to Bajcetic, who volleys the ball goalwards. Doesn't really ever catch that, and was never going to from that sort of distance. And it's kicked clear by Jordan Pickford. A little bit of naivety from the young man, the teenager, only 18 years of age, the Spaniard. It's currently Liverpool 0, Everton 0, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Liverpool to win at 15-8 on. It's 6-1 for Everton to win the game, and you can back the draw at 13-5. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. You may know that Bill Kenwright has missed the last couple of games at Goodison due to security concerns, but he is here tonight, and very much watching on from the stands. Here is Alexander-Arnold into the penalty area. He's played it behind Gakpo. Oh, it's given away by Onana. Offside flag was up against Alexander-Arnold anyway. Henderson smashed the ball into an empty net. It's not going to count. Danny.
Yeah, I think Liverpool have got some control in the game now without really creating any clear-cut chances. The direct ball from Everton isn't giving them as much joy. As I say, I think the Everton wide players need to get on the ball a little bit more, release that pressure for Everton. But not much in the game, Sam. There's not much in it. It's lacking a bit of quality. There's a lack of confidence from Liverpool, a little bit on the ball.
What have you made of Cody Gakpo? Because he's still looking for the first goal in a Liverpool shirt. He's been useful at leading the press at times in other games, hasn't he? But you get the feeling that sometimes he's very eager to make an impression. He makes sometimes the wrong decision at the wrong time. He had a very good World Cup, obviously, and he's playing well in Dutch football before he came here.
I'm surprised he's not used in wide a bit more often. I think that's an easier position to settle into. Playing high up the pitch is hard. Kev will tell you that. You know, you always got to keep the ball and be trustworthy in your possession, and when you're a new player in a team and you're not used to playing up there that often, that's really difficult, and the team's lacking form and confidence, so it's been a big ask for him. He needs to go.
Nana and McNeil played a brilliant 1-2 down this near side, and Nana did brilliantly to win the ball back and then to get Everton out. He then went down the left side of the touchline, trying to get beyond Trent Alexander-Arnold, who just put an arm out and edged him off the ball. He went flying to the floor, won a free kick. Jurgen Klopp was absolutely furious at the free kick went against him.
It's a foul, isn't it? It's caught him in the face. He made the most of it, but you get caught in the face, you get a foul these days.
It's a foul. It's nothing, no harm done.
I also know that the officials have been asked by the game to clamp down on touchline antics, because the feeling from the FA and the Premier League was that it was spoiling the image of the game, the amount of nonsense that was going on inside those technical areas. Mykolenko clips the ball forward towards Tarkowski, free header into the box. Onana was shaping up to try and get something out of that, but Fabinho got it away, only as far as Gay. Midpoint of the Liverpool half. To the left is Doucouré. Further wide is Mykolenko, just about holds on to it. Takes on Joe Gomez and then waits for some support. McNeil provides that, looks to try and take on Gomez again, plays it against the shins of the former England defender, and it's out for the first Everton corner of the game.
See, I find it strange when you've got someone like McNeil who's got the ability to beat people, then you've got Mykolenko trying to overlap him and the space ain't there to overlap. Yeah. Stay there, give him the room to try and take on his man. It's just too keen from Mykolenko.
Yeah, I think he just wants to join. He's been defending most of the game, so just get up there and join him.
Good intent, bad decision.
Yes.
Get a bit of rarefied air of the Liverpool half. Here's the corner taken by Iwobi into the edge of the 6-yard box. There's no one there. Comes out to Gay, who smacks it right-footed. He caught it well enough, but probably too well, and it goes over the top of the crossbar and into the Liverpool fans in the Anfield Road end, the half of the Anfield Road end that today is red, because this near side is very much blue. The bottom tier of the Anfield Road end is always reserved on this near side for the visitors, and the visitors certainly making their presence felt as well today. Away to our right-hand side, a banner has just gone up, and it's a very poignant banner. It's from the James Bolger charity, and it depicts the picture of James Bolger 30 years on and never forgotten, it says. Half of it is red, half of it is blue. R.I.P. James are the big letters emblazoned through the middle. Underneath it says, "You'll never walk alone." And it is a very poignant moment. It's the 30th anniversary of the death of James Bolger. Another harrowing tragedy that was felt keenly in this city.
It's also, Sam, another great example of this red and blue coming together so often during these tragedies. I know there's a lot said about the football banter and
the rivalry.
But actually this city comes together a lot.
So unique, Danny, isn't it? Such a unique city.
Just coming up to half-time in the game in the Scottish Cup, Darville 0, Falkirk 2, that's the latest. Here it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Everton in the Premier League, and Everton knowing that only a win will move them out of the relegation zone. The prize for Liverpool is an opportunity to move up into 9th today if they manage to.
Why do I detect glee in your statements?
I don't. I'm just pointing out the mediocrity. Don't ask. Listen.
But we don't need to come in the top 4 when we're going to win the Champions League.
That's what every club who's languishing around that area that are still in the Champions League says, and there are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Here is Nunez trying to clip the ball towards the edge of the area, and one spent a bit more than Liverpool. Here is Gay in the midpoint of the Everton half, plays it left towards Mikalenko. It's a good ball down that left-hand side for Onana, who tries to take on Matip, who just about deals with it but couldn't keep it under control and has taken it out for a throw-in on this near side. It's an Everton ball level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, wide on the left. 32 gone.
We discussed Onana joining the front, didn't we, Danny?
Yeah, he's not done it enough.
And making runs.
Capable, isn't he? He's really capable.
Yeah.
And I actually think the further back he goes to get the ball, the much less effective he is.
Very much
when
so.
he gets the ball higher up and he's going past people, all
he's
of a
threat,
sudden,
he's a threat.
Got the last goal of the Lampard era, played twice at the World Cup for Belgium. He's certainly got bags of potential. He's only 21 years of age, Kevin.
It's unbelievable. You know, he's such a big lad and such a good player as well.
Ball into the box on the left-hand side from Mikalenko. Out comes Alisson. In fact, it was McNeil who delivered that ball, and Alisson comes and collects it from the sky, bowls it out. There's a collision between Doucouré and Bajcetic. Fabinho's moved away with the ball because Liverpool wanted a free kick, but Simon Hooper said, play on, keep the game moving.
That. Good from the referee. Didn't get in and didn't get forward with it, but he kept it going and give it the opportunity. Could have pulled it back if they'd lost it. That's how you want it to be ref.
Yeah, I mentioned to you that I thought he did a very good job in the Leeds Manchester United game last week at Old Trafford that was live on Talksport. Remember, tomorrow, live on Talksport, well, we've got the game between Milan and Tottenham, then Wednesday night, Dortmund against Chelsea, Thursday night, Barcelona against Manchester United, and breakfast is back tomorrow from 6 o'clock. Alan Brazil, who is 1 out of 5 so far. He's doing all 5 days this week, and he's got a 100% record, which is good. I know it's only Monday, but, you know...
Well, we'll get some odds from Coral how that'll last.
We have to praise the positives. Matip's made another mistake, and the ball's gone out of play on this near side. Didn't get hold of the ball and deflected it out for a throw-in, and the pressure from Sims affected him too. It's going to be a throw-in on this near side. Yeah, Alan back tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. He'll review all of tonight's action. Should be... pretty impressive show tomorrow. He's got Dean Saunders trying to keep him on the straight and narrow, and if you fancy something different, you can always
probably the other way around that, by the way.
You can always choose the Chris Evans breakfast show weekdays from 6:30. That's on Virgin Radio. You can download the app or listen to that on DAB digital radio. We've got 10 minutes before half-time here. Sean Dyche is bellowing from the technical area. A couple of meaty challenges have seen the turnover from Everton throw deep inside Liverpool territory to a Liverpool throw deep inside Liverpool territory. It hasn't moved very much, and it's cleared away. Onana goes in for a challenge, but the ball came off a Liverpool jersey last, and it's going to be a Everton throw deep inside Liverpool territory.
You can just sense sometimes with the Liverpool players there's I wouldn't say a lack of belief, but just a little bit of edginess, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear that the crowd are going to get on top of them. It's the first time I've felt this at Anfield in quite a long time.
Here is McNeil down the left-hand side, getting towards the corner flag. The ball's going to go out. Here it does. Matip made sure it went out, but had a little piece of McNeil as well. It's going to be another corner. Well, I suppose the reason to that is that they just haven't won enough games here recently.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been a problem, and you know, they failed to score in the last 3 Premier League games despite 43 shots. And that is also of a concern for the Liverpool fan, who's used to seeing so much goalmouth action and so many wins here.
Yeah, exactly that.
Here is the corner away to our left, and Iwobi chips it deep towards the far post. Tarkowski with a header, he hits the post this time, and it comes back to McNeil inside the box, takes a deflection from Doucouré, and it's away by Nunez up to Salah, and now the red arrows start to fire up over the halfway line. Look at the space on the right side for Gakpo. They look to find him, they find Salah instead. It's 1-0 on the counter-attack. It's a wonderful Liverpool breakaway goal. They're in front in the Merseyside derby.
And Mo Salah's 9-hour goal drought is over. 36 minutes into this game, his first goal in the Premier League since Boxing Day puts Liverpool in front. Liverpool 1, Everton 0.
What a break that was. I mean, Everton, what they've got to do, they've got to keep the back door closed. It was Everton's corner, but the break that Liverpool done, they absolutely outstripped all of Everton's back four. But I've got a question: where was Jordan Pickford? I think he tries to read the ball and doesn't get the ball.
Well, the other thing is, Nunez has started this move in his own box. He skipped round Coleman. He's made a tremendous run, carried on going down the left-hand side. Can he pick the man out in the middle with his weak foot? Yes, he can. And I don't know where Jordan
He's trying to read it. He's trying to read it. You've got to stay in your goal.
It's a big error from Pickford, but it's wonderful play from Nunez and a tremendous break. Isn't football incredible? You are talking about 2 inches from Everton going a goal up and this crowd turning. 60 seconds later,
it's in the back of your net.
The crowd is bouncing and Liverpool are 1-0 up.
Tarkowski hits the post at one end. Mo Salah puts the ball between the two posts at the other. All within 30 seconds. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. And the first goal of the derby is a Liverpool goal.
Fine margins. Fine margins. It is so fine.
Before that goal from Mo Salah, Belfast, the Leicester defender, who was their top Premier League goal scorer since Christmas.
Come on.
So it was imperative, really, that Mo Salah did get involved, because he hasn't been able to score too many goals recently. That's his 18th goal of the season.
18 goals in a season, and we're still criticised. Mad, isn't it? Madness, the levels he set himself. But it was a poor bit of goalkeeping. Obviously, for those people listening and not watching, it's a bizarre set of circumstances where he's come out to read a cross that's past the penalty spot, really.
Here is Fabinho playing the ball towards the halfway line, and then it's picked up by Henderson, then wide right onto Salah. Salah tries to weave his way in, looks to backheel the ball back to Henderson, but it was well read by Mikalenko and cleared away by McNeil. How are Everton going to get back in this game, bearing in mind they don't score too many goals?
They've got to keep getting bodies up towards to support Ellis Sims. We've seen Onana get up there. We've seen Dwight McNeil get down the left-hand side, and set pieces seems to be the best way right now.
They need more belief. They've just not got enough belief. They've been in some good positions. The last pass, the last little run, the last decision hasn't really happened for them. That's better.
McNeil doing brilliantly to draw two defenders and play the ball out wide towards the left, and Doucouré, who comes forward at pace, looks for Ellis Sims. Sims is beaten to it by Gomez, and Gomez takes it out to the right full-back position and will clear. I mean, the best they could probably hope for is a draw now, isn't it, Kevin? Bearing in mind the goals don't flow for Everton. They haven't scored more than one goal in a game since that win over Palace in October. Just 7 goals scored in 11 games since then. Talk about few and far between.
Yeah, few and far between. Everton have been quite poor in front of goal, haven't they? But, you know, you just never know. Football is a funny old game. This is something that Everton have to stay in the game now while it's 1-0 and then try and get on level terms.
Well, the Liverpool crowd certainly feel as if there's a chance for them to get over the line and get something from this match. They certainly desperately need it if they're to challenge for European football. The top four might already be beyond them. That you never know. They've done it before. They've come from deep and got that elusive top four position. Remember Alisson's header against West Bromwich Albion?
I do indeed. I tell you what the goal will do for this team, though, is settle them down a little bit. Settles the fans down. People can play with a bit more confidence.
Here's Robertson with a cross into the box, which is easily defended by Mikalenko. It's a bit big and there was no one really to aim at. It's cleared out and away for a throw to Liverpool midway inside Everton's half of the field. 5 minutes before the break, you're listening to Talksport, and we are live at Anfield with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Bajcetic into Fabinho, back to Bajcetic once again. He clips the ball out towards the far side. It drops out of the sky at the feet of Robertson, who brings it down, then gets to the bar and produces a cross. It's in towards Gakpo. Took a little deflection into the air and it was cleared away. Comes back to Bajcetic again, and then Henderson. Space out wide on the left for Robertson. Iwobi read it well and tucked it out and away for a throw-in down by the corner flag with a sweeping challenge. But I think maybe an offside flag was up against Robertson in the first place, and that's going to be a free kick.
to Everton away to our right-hand side. Sum up Liverpool's first half for me if you can.
Edgy, but reasonably good. It's not far from the best Liverpool we've seen. They're not playing full of confidence and being really, really creative, but they've grown into it. They've got a bit more confidence. Half's gone on, and they've got the goal now, which should settle them all down. But they've just about edged it, but only just.
Kevin, sum up Everton's first 42 minutes.
Everton have done okay. They've done okay. They've kept themselves in the game early doors. Obviously, tried to get up the pitch. Great set piece, hit the post, but it's the defending, that defensive part of staying in the game. Jordan Pickford with a big mistake makes Mo Salah it's a tap-in.
But even if he hadn't made that mistake, there were 3 players queuing up inside the penalty area.
Yeah, but once he's taken the touch, if he's got him to beat, he's still got him to beat, hasn't he?
Oh, listen, it was an open goal in the end for Mo Salah, but how disappointed will Sean Dyche be about the swiftness and the effectiveness of that break? Because we all know Liverpool can do that.
I'm sure Sean Dyche would have been telling the players, always be on your guard when we're on the attack. You have to, because Liverpool's so quick on the break. They get caught. But I think the fact that Mo Salah just tapped it in and there was no goalkeeper in will really disappoint.
I'll tell you what's the most disappointing and bizarre thing, though. Seamus Coleman, and with all his experience, when he gets skipped by on the edge of the box, he knows they're in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
He's got to come down, Nunez. Got to take him down. As soon as he's beaten him, he's got to bring him down. Stop the counter-attack.
Yeah.
Naive.
Jordan Henderson has just been chopped down, and a free kick has been given as a result of that. James Tarkowski being spoken to by Simon Hooper. The referee just explaining that it was slightly unnecessary. He was a little bit late, wasn't he, coming in from the side on Jordan Henderson?
Yep, a little bit.
Derby tackle, that isn't it?
Caught him a little bit.
It's a Derby tackle, that one.
A bit of frustration in that one, Kev,
yeah, very much so.
A Derby tackle. Do a few of those yourself, did you?
No. Me?
Derby elbows. And just again trying to get away from Gakpo, and the foul has been given against Iwobi, who clipped him from behind, and it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool just left of the centre circle. That derby, by the way, that you scored the goal in, that was a feisty derby, wasn't it? 3 red cards and ended up with Steve Staunton in goal.
Yeah, 3 sent off. It was a lively one, that's for sure.
Where were you that day? You were watching from the bench, were you?
I was on the bench, yeah. I think that was my first ever season. I think it was my first or second season, I can't remember, but it was one of my first experiences of a derby, and I remember thinking, whoa, it looks a bit heavy out there.
It was.
I'll stay here, thank you.
Let the big boys go.
There were some big lads out there at the time.
Henderson out towards the right side, and then it's a little bit too early for Salah, who's in an offside position. It's going to be a free kick in the left full-back position. You're listening to Talksport, and Jurgen Klopp, who's won 8 of his 12 meetings against Sean Dyche and has won the last 3, including 2 against Burnley last season, seems to be getting the better of Sean Dyche again. Although, let's be clear about it, we're still very early doors and there's a long way to go yet, Danny, and they won't be, bearing in mind how Liverpool performed recently, they won't be taking anything for granted.
No, they've got to stay in it till half time. I think you'd be a little bit disappointed at the lack of creativity and chances. They've lacked quality at times when they have got the ball into Liverpool half. But he has got 1 or 2 options on the bench. I mean, Damari Gray, as the game goes on, he's a really good player. I'm surprised he's not in the 11, to be honest.
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think last week everyone was feeling, well, hold on, he's the top scorer at the club. Why is he not in the team? And I think it's as basic as, well, he's worked with Dwight McNeil before, getting instructions to him.
I think he only got level 8 on the bleep test, and the others got level 13.
There's certainly been a bit of that. I spoke to James Tarkowski about just that last weekend in the tunnel after the Arsenal game. The ball's gone out of play on this near side. I think there was that 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half here on Talksport.
I bet you Jan Molby wouldn't do any good on a bleep test, but you wouldn't get the ball off him in a game of football. It's to balance that one. I love Sean Dyche, but I'm not a big believer in those lads who are best at the bleep necessarily play. I'm not saying he's done that, but he does feel that his players have to be able to run. You need 1 or 2 who can play, and at the moment they're lacking that. Yeah,
well, they're lacking a few things, especially goals as well, and in the absence of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Ellis Sims is being asked to do a lot, and for his first appearance in a Merseyside derby, it's not exactly an easy task to try and take on this Liverpool defence. There is going to be a free kick to Liverpool on this near side, the right, after an infringement involving James Tarkowski and Mikalenko. In fact, it was Tarkowski got the final touch on the ball. Was it on this near side? It's going to be a free kick which is taken a yard in from the touchline by Robertson, a left-footed one which is going to be whipped in towards the edge of that 6-yard box. The good news for Everton is it's not an alien concept for them to come from behind to win. They did do that against Southampton back in October. Slightly different levels of opposition, you might suggest. This is Talksport. Ball in towards the far post, headed down by Fabinho. Back towards Nunez. Crushed it towards goal. Claims of handball against Onana. The referee didn't wave it away. And then Joe Gomez, who hasn't scored in 203 senior appearances, blasts the ball into the Kop from 25 yards. It was a bit ambitious, that effort. And that is the end of the first half. And Liverpool will be pretty pleased with the fact they've got themselves in front. A lightning break after James Tarkowski had hit the post at one end from a corner. Within seconds, the red arrows were darting towards the Everton goal away to our right, and boy did they make them pay. Pickford with an iffy decision, Salah with a deadly finish. It's 1-0 at the break to the home team in the Merseyside derby. Well, Liverpool are on course to take 55 points this season at the current rate of accumulation. That would be their fewest in a Premier League season since 11-12, when they only took 52, and 55 points would leave them around about 9th, 11th, 8th, something like that, in that mid-table area. And Liverpool haven't finished lower than 8th in the top division since 1953-54.
Won't happen.
When they were relegated in 22nd position.
I hope. Oh dear.
Yeah, the last 3 seasons, 52 points would have got you 9th, 11th and 8th.
Yeah, not good enough.
So if they were going to get 55, they might go on a decent run and get more than that, but if they do get 55, that's what they can expect. Here is Doucouré down the left-hand side. Liverpool in red shirts, red shorts and socks, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side at the Anfield Road end. Usually in the second half they like to shoot towards the Kop, but Everton turned them round. They have made Everton pay because they scored the opening goal of the game after 37 minutes, and they lead by that goal to 0. Mo Salah's goal, his first for 9 hours and 37 minutes of Premier League football.
Wow.
And Alisson is there.
9 hours?
9 hours and 37 minutes.
That must be his longest one. That must be his longest drought since he's been at the club.
It's certainly up there. Abnormal, let's just put it that way. And then you were having a go at us for criticising him, and then you've just done the wows.
I didn't criticise, I just said wow, I didn't realise it was that long.
Alisson in goal.
It happens to everyone.
Of course it does. Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Gomez, Robertson, Fabinho, Bajcetic, Henderson.
Maybe not Kev, maybe he didn't have that long.
Gakpo, Salah and Nunez are the attacking trident for Liverpool. For Everton, it's Pickford in goal, Coleman, Cody, Tarkowski, Mikalenko, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Gay and Onana, and then McNeil and Iwobi flanking Sims in attack. And Sims didn't really see much action and much of the ball. They have won a set piece, and Danny and I were talking at half-time about the possibility of Everton getting a goal and how likely or unlikely it was, and we both said at exactly the same time, set piece.
Set pieces, great opportunity just outside the box. Ball's going to get whipped in, and Liverpool don't tend to defend these so well, so Everton fancy their chances.
Blue shirts, white shorts attacking the Kop. The ball in from McNeil is too high. It's over the head of everyone on rushing towards the goal. It's retrieved on this near side by Tarkowski, who is bundled to the floor by Gakpo, and it's away for a throw into Liverpool down by the corner flag. But in terms of delivery, that left something to be desired.
That was really poor. That's another thing Sean Dyche is going to be going crazy about, because you don't really get these opportunities to put good balls into the box, and when you get them, you've got to take them.
2 minutes gone in the second half, and it's Liverpool 1, Everton 0, and the ball is on the midpoint of the Liverpool half before Bajcetic loses it to Iwobi. There's a tangle of legs, and Liverpool emerge with the ball, and a lovely little pass in from Henderson releases Robertson, who skates diagonally over the halfway line to the right now, and Salah on the overlap on the far side is Trent Alexander-Arnold, low cross towards the far post. Gakpo is there, and he has his first Liverpool goal. Cody Gakpo touching it at the far post. Trent Alexander-Arnold with another assist. There haven't been too many of those this season, but that ball sliced through the 6-yard box
and Gakpo couldn't help but turn it home, and Liverpool are starting to step out from that shadow of their former selves and into the light. It's Liverpool 2, Everton 0.
Well, there's a couple of things in this goal. Iwobi's asking for a free kick earlier in the build-up. I'm not sure they'll even look at that. Then there's a 1-2. Robertson goes past Coleman too easily. I criticised Coleman for the first goal, but he's let Robertson go by him too easy. Got to bring him down. Then they're looking for an offside on Gakpo. It's a good ball across the box, but he's onside by a yard. I think it's Cody playing him on. Great ball from Trent from that right-hand side. An easy tap in for Gakpo to get his first goal.
Not even VAR could have ruled that one out.
That's a nightmare ball to deal with for any defender when it's going across you. Really poor from Everton, because they had to try and get on the front foot, and to concede again so early, absolute nightmare for them.
The cheers, by the way, in the background was because the crowd have been told that there was a goal check and that VAR completed it and it was a goal. I mean, it was pretty obvious from the naked eye for us to see that was going to be onside, and indeed that is the case, and it is 2-0 to Liverpool as a result of that. And bearing in mind Everton haven't scored 2 goals in a game since October, it's unlikely that they're going to come back from this position. What a worry that is for Sean Dyche, who was getting a lot of praise last week, and everybody felt as if he had done in fact, I even heard Martin Keown on the Jim White show earlier today, and with Simon Jordan, suggesting that Dyche had done a good job. He'd only been there a week and they'd only got 3 points, and I think maybe because of the way that he had such a big impact, everybody just assumed it was all going to be okay, but they've looked pretty insipid tonight, Kevin.
Sorry, Kev, just looking at the replay of the goal there, they were a bit unlucky of it, and Trent's cross actually got deflected into the path of Gakpo, but I still think it could have been stopped before. It's a killer goal.
It probably should have. It should have been cut out, but again, that ball across a 6-yard box, defenders don't want to touch it, do they? Because they'll score an own goal and Gakpo gets off the mark.
But it still underscores just how much work Sean Dyche has got to do.
Oh, there's a hell of a lot of work. Like I said, when Everton play at home, they get the 12th man involved, it's very difficult to beat them. Away from home is always going to be the difficult one, because you don't have that 12th man to help you over the line.
Try and find some quality from somewhere if they're going to get the goals that will keep them in the Premier League. Here is McNeil down the left-hand side, trying to get away from Matip, and there'll be a bit more confidence about Liverpool now, having that 2-goal lead, that cushion. And they had just given away a set piece, a corner kick over on the far side in the corner of the Sekani Dalglish stand, and the Kop opposite us, right in the corner, and Iwobi is going to take it, and there might be an opportunity here for Everton to create, and they do get an opportunity. They've got to make the most of it, Kevin.
Set pieces, they've got to try and get themselves back into the game. At 2-1, you just never know.
Here is the corner, Iwobi to take it. It's right underneath the goalkeeper, who's under pressure from Tarkowski. Got sandwiched by Cody and Tarkowski, and Alisson, like a big piece of salami, squeezed out into the air and bounced back down off the turf as a result of that. 2-0.
So it's a strange one. The initial marker for Tarkowski on the corners is Gakpo. I mean, I know he's huge, but you can see it there on the replay. He's lost him again. Does well, Alisson. In swinger from that left-hand side. Alisson does well, nice and strong, but not that far away from being a free header for Tarkowski. Yeah. Strange how Gakpo's marking him. I always like to see defenders mark defenders.
545 minutes of football went by for Cody Gakpo with Liverpool before scoring his first goal. He'll be delighted to get off the mark. He got 13 goals and 17 assists for PSV in 24 appearances this season before joining. He was a goal scorer at the World Cup, and now he's a goal scorer in the Merseyside derby and Anfield. What a place to get.
Well, funnily enough, his good friend and fellow Dutchman had the same first goal for his club, which was against Everton in the FA Cup here at Anfield.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk, yes, and he's on the bench today, and we may well see him at some point. 53 gone. You're listening to Talksport. 2-0 to Liverpool, and here's Alexander-Arnold in search of yet another goal down the far side. It was the two defenders, wasn't it? Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, who combined so well for that move. With Robertson picking the ball up, charging over halfway, sending the ball out wide. It went to Alexander-Arnold, whose cross, as always, is pretty useful, but it did take a deflection before reaching Gakpo. And it goes into the net away to our left, and the Liverpool fans start singing about Everton's possibility of relegation.
Yeah, it's not going down very well with the blue side, I must say, but Everton have got difficult times ahead. Obviously, Sean Dyche has to really arrest this defensive display away from Goodison.
That's it, out towards the right. Alexander-Arnold produces a cross which is blocked by Mikalenko and goes out towards the far side. Everton's numbers are never sort of pretty to look at, to be honest with you, but their away form over a long period is absolutely shocking. 2 victories in 27 Premier League games dating back to September 2021. And they've scored 1 away goal since October.
A lot of work to be done, Sam.
Gomez.
A lot of work.
Back to Matip. Flicked forward down the left looking for Iwobi, and Nana's trying to hold it up. Is chased out by Gomez towards this near side, and Sean Dyche just doing his best to sort of try and rev up his troops, Danny, because he knows that it's gone a little bit flat since the concession of that second goal. We're well aware of the stats.
He's got to try and stay positive with them. They don't want to hide in, they don't want to dent confidence, they're going to try and get back in the game and give them some belief, something to hang on to. The worst thing, things like
given away by Tarkowski. Henderson has picked it off and he's given it to Salah, who's running towards the edge of the box, sent it wide to Henderson, who's balled it towards the near post, actually almost caught out Pickford, and went fizzing through past the near post and hit the top of the net.
Yeah, he missed
and went behind.
He missed it. It was a good break, poor pass from Tarkowski, breakaway. Salah feeds Henderson, mishits it over the bar. But I was just saying, what they don't want is to concede 4 or 5 and then confidence drops, and
100%.
then don't want that, Kev.
Oh no, there's 2 balls on the pitch.
And which one are we playing with? The one that's gone over the halfway line, so Pickford can clear it, but then his attention is taken by that ball, and then he has to come across and pick up another one.
Maybe that was the ball Pickford was going for on the cross in the first half.
It was closest to that one.
But Danny, you make a really good point about Everton. They have to consolidate. Fair enough, they've gone 2-0 down. Again, you cannot go 3 or 4 down. You've got to try and keep some confidence in this team as a unit, and it's going to be tough. We know that it always is tough at Anfield, but they've got to do it.
Well, the Reds haven't been ruthless against teams in the bottom half of the table, those you would expect them to beat this season. They've dropped 13 points against current bottom half teams, but they look like they're going to get all 3 here. 56 minutes gone, Iwobi on the edge of the area, trying to get them back into it, gets a shot away. Wasn't a great one.
Good move.
And it's saved by Alisson, but it was a neat move by Everton, and they did play there for the first time in a while, Danny. They
played through the lines for once. They had a bit of space, so they didn't rush it. They got themselves to the edge of the box. No conviction.
They lack firepower, Dan, and when you lack firepower, you're always going to be in very dangerous company down the bottom.
12 minutes gone in the second half, and Liverpool, who took the lead before half-time and then cemented it after, are coming forward once again. Robertson plays the ball behind Nunez, and it's cleared away out towards this near side, and Idrissa Gana Gueye, and he's challenged by Bajcetic, who is fast becoming a bit of a favourite, I think, because of his endeavour and work rate, and he does not look out of place in that midfield. He may not necessarily yet be at the top end of the quality spectrum, but he's certainly got something about him, hasn't he?
I mean, for his age, he's quality, isn't he? 18 years age. I mean, it's phenomenal to be able to cope with this kind of
5
pressure.
starts in a row now as well.
5 in a row. He's obviously very fit, gets about, likes putting his foot in. Like to see him a bit more progressive with his pressing, but that'll come over time. He's playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world at 18 years of age. He's obviously a special talent.
He's standing. He's standing in the middle of the park there, looking like a little wispy teenager with his socks rolled down by his ankles as well, isn't he?
I'm not sure he'd have his socks rolled down if he was playing for Everton.
Short sleeve shirt on as well, no gloves. Here's Salah down the right into the penalty area, looking for Nunez, who's in a tight area on the far side, gets one shot away, comes back off Pickford, tried to hit it in again, and then Pickford then went over and whispered something in it. Well, I'm going to say whispered something in his ear, but bellowed in Nunez's ear, and then Nunez said something back to him, and it's going to be a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and Salah had to go across, pick up Darwin Nunez, and tell him not to get involved with Jordan Pickford.
Well, we had last time we were here, wasn't it? I think for the Talksport. Was it the Palace game?
It wasn't the last time I was here, but it was the last time we did the Monday night here. I think it was the Crystal Palace game, wasn't it? When Nunez got wound up and then got sent off.
The old headbutt.
Yeah.
One of Kev's favourites, that.
Speaking from experience?
No, I'm only kidding.
Gakpo down the left, looking for Robertson, who went a little bit too far. Offside flag was up anyway. There's a challenge between him and Cody, and it's going to be a free kick to Everton on the right edge of the penalty area. 13 gone in the second half, and it's Liverpool 2, Everton 0 on Talksport. Liverpool go up to 9th with this. Everton will still find themselves in the relegation zone, and big fixtures to come over the next few weeks. Kevin, it could have been kinder, the fixture list. They had Arsenal to start with at home, and then had to come across Stanley Park here. Leeds at home is next up for them. Aston Villa at home, Nottingham Forest away, Brentford at home, and Chelsea away, all to come in the next few weeks.
It's a good run, those four.
Is it?
Those four are all games they'll feel they can get something out of.
Well, what if they don't?
Yeah, but what if? That every team can have. That's what you're looking at. You don't want to play the top four, do you? You don't want four the best teams in the league on the spin. They've had 2. Looks like they'll get 3 points out of 6. I mean, there's still time, I know, but if you'd have said 3 points out of those,
you take that
all day.
Definitely.
Well, they've got Leeds next. That could be a big game for them. Here on the left-hand side is McNeil into the penalty area. A little touch forward towards the edge of the box. It's half cleared by
too easy.
the Liverpool defence, and then picked up by Gakpo and cleared away. That Everton Leeds game, by the way, I think it's on Talksport 2 on Saturday. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Ball clipped out towards the near side. Taken down by Nunez. Moves up towards the edge of the penalty area. Goes one way. Tries to tuck it in towards Robertson. Then Nunez comes back infield to Fabinho. Fabinho spots the run of Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right. And he goes centrally towards Henderson. Henderson back towards the far side. 2-0 the score to Liverpool. Liverpool have looked a little bit more confident on the ball since they got their opening goal. And as a result of that, it might well give them a platform to push forward to. They've got Newcastle away next, which is a really tough game. Then Real Madrid at home. That's quite a tough game. Crystal Palace slightly better. Then Wolves and Manchester United to come after that. Never easy.
No. Premier League's unforgiving, isn't it? It really is.
Relentless. And it makes you think sometimes when you see some of the decisions that owners make in terms of recruitment and hiring managers and firing managers, why they think they can get away with it sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, the idea, Southampton obviously in the news today, signing young players and hoping that they'll be able to deal with the pressure of the Premier League is crazy. A crazy recruitment strategy it was at the beginning of the season.
Especially with such a lack of experience.
Yeah.
You can't win nothing with youngsters, can you?
That's what I heard, but that was 40 years ago.
Famous words.
Ellis Sims is off, and on comes Damari Gray, the top scorer.
It's a balance, Sam, isn't it? It's a balance. You need the youth of youngsters, the competitive edge, but also that wisdom and experience.
Here is Cody Gakpo on the halfway line. Lovely little turn. He sprints past 2 players and gets the better of Idrissa Gana Gueye. Releases Nunez into the penalty. Right-footed curler towards the far post. It's just wide with the left hand upright. What a move from Liverpool. Gakpo did brilliantly to get away from the middle part of the Everton half, and he had Gueye snapping at his heels. He went beyond him to the edge of the penalty area, released the ball down the left for Nunez, who tried to curl it in towards the far post, and it was arcing, but not enough, Danny Murphy.
It was the right effort. It was played beautifully into his path for that one touch inside left position, bend it round the keeper. And that sums his luck up recently. They're not going in for him, but he's getting in there, and and the fans love him still. He keeps getting in there, the goals will come. The worrying thing, if you don't make chances, he keeps getting himself in good position. Yeah,
it's his conversion rate that's the problem, isn't it? He has the chances. I mean, we mentioned earlier he had 61 shots so far this season. That's a hell of a lot. Here is Nunez down the left-hand side. His work rate is tireless as well. Those 61 shots, by the way, coming despite the fact that he had 3 games off because he was sent off against Crystal Palace. So his ratio in terms of games and shots is good. Given away by Tarkowski. He's giving it straight to Gakpo, and Salah is coming down the right-hand side, and Everton on the back foot here. Salah trying to tease it in towards the far corner as he shifts it onto his left foot and tries to do that little one where he takes it early with his left foot and tries to cushion it into the far corner, but he didn't get that right, and it goes into the arms of Jordan Pickford, a let-off.
Yep, big let-off. Sean Dyche is going to be going crazy, and I'm sure the video is going to be out tomorrow because Everton are making this so much more difficult for themselves by giving the ball away.
James Tarkowski was the guilty party on that occasion. Anana's helped that through towards Damari Gray. Offside flag is up against him. It's going to be a free kick. Difficult, isn't it, for Everton now? And 2-0 down, trying to raise themselves, to keep concentrated the way they were in that game against Arsenal, where they were on it, they were harassing, they had the crowd behind them. Here now, the crowd's against them, they're 2-0 down, they know they don't score too many goals, they've got half an hour still to go. It's hard to keep that energy and concentration up, that level of effort required.
You need a break, Sam. That's what they need. They need a break. They need to just keep themselves going. If you can pull a goal back, that might, make Liverpool a little bit nervous.
Salah is the one that's making them nervous at the moment. Down the right side, jinking towards the edge of the penalty area, getting to the byline, and then the tackle came in from Mykolenko, and I thought he snuffled up behind and out for a corner, but the referee didn't agree.
You know what you're talking about, though? I mean, they say 2-0, it's easy to play when you're 2-0 down, and I kind of agree with that. These are experienced players. At 2-0 now, they should be having a go. They should be, they've got nothing to lose. If you want to play, play. If you want to go long, mix it up. But have an impact in the game. Don't give up on it. But at the moment, they can't influence it. They're not getting the good players on the ball, That's better.
Nudges the ball out to Doucouré, far side, the Everton left. He moves over the halfway line. 65 gone, 2-0 to Liverpool. It's clipped over the top of the Liverpool defence, but it's such a poor ball out towards this near side by McNeil, and it goes straight out of play and away for a throw-in in the left full-back position as Liverpool look at it. And they too now, I think, are going to start thinking about making changes. Well, Van Dijk's been warming up, Keita's been warming up, Diogo Jota's been warming up, and so has Kostas Tsimikas, who's just taken off a big stadium jacket and tossed it onto the bench, and then he's gone running down the tunnel, which always makes me think he hasn't brought something out. He's going to be called upon next.
It's absolutely ridiculous if he's forgotten something, or he needs the toilet, because he was in the changing room 15 minutes ago, so he could have gone then.
Probably didn't want to. He's coming on, so he wants to go, Dan.
Bit nervous.
Yeah, a little bit nervous.
almost as nervous as I was when we were having our VAR discussion at about 6:30 on Talksport, and you two, I was sitting down, very gentlemanly.
We were gagging up on you.
You two were looming above me like two heavies. Here is Mo Salah trying to hold on to the ball far side, does well to do so, and the ball goes back all the way to Joel Matip, away to our right after good work from Mo Salah and the referee, who allowed the game to continue. Here is Robertson into Nunez, up towards halfway, clipped it into midfield. There's a bit of space there for Matip. They do like him, don't they? Every pass he completes, they give him a round of applause.
Yeah, he's give Coleman a torrid time.
When he gets it going, he's going to be some player.
Yeah,
and you get the feeling from what we've seen of him at Benfica and at flashes in a Liverpool jersey. Bear in mind, he did score 9 goals in his first 18 games for Liverpool, which is not a bad return. He is going to score some goals. He's going to be a handful, and I think playing against him last year was the signal that Klopp needed. Bajcetic has got the wrong side of Cody. Cody's pulled him back. Now, was he the last man? I don't think he was, because I think Coleman was on the cover, but that's going to be a yellow card. It was a good run by Bajcetic, really good run, and he got the wrong side of Cody, who couldn't cope with him.
Yeah, it was again Nunez drifting in from that left-hand side with the flick, wasn't it? Causing them all sorts of problems with his movement.
You get midfield players running.
Yep.
It makes life so much more difficult for the centre-backs.
Connor Cody, who hails from St Helens, is a former Red. Nobody gets the derby quite like him. He managed to make 2 senior appearances for Liverpool, and now he's at the heart of the Everton defence. And he's the first one in the referee's notebook tonight. Liverpool 2, Everton 0, 67 on the clock on Talksport. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, Alan Brazil will be there with Dean Saunders, taking you through all of the big stories of the day. They'll have the latest on the Leeds and Southampton manager hunts and all the fallout to this game as well. Here is Alexander-Arnold sweeping a ball into the box, and it was aimed towards Cody Gakpo, but it was caught by Jordan Pickford, who's getting a little bit irate about the fact that there wasn't enough movement in front of him and not enough up the pitch for him to aim at, and he's being very demonstrative about that, which is him making the Liverpool supporters very happy.
I don't like it, Sam. I don't like that.
Do you think that's for show?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't like it because the team have been defending for long spells. They're 2-0 down. I know you've got to have a goal, but they need to have a little breather as well.
Henderson funnels the ball out to the right. Salah goes past Mykolenko. He's beaten by McNeil to the ball, and then Mykolenko comes back and sweeps the ball from under his feet. Goes straight out of play.
It's good doubling up from Dwight McNeil, giving Mykolenko a hand there.
And it goes out for a throw, which is given Everton's way, and Salah's not happy about that either. Here is Nunez coming off to be replaced by Diogo Jota, and he gets a standing ovation. He's walking right across the pitch on the far side to this near touchline, and
he can only be thinking about the weekend, can't he?
It's a big boost for Jurgen Klopp to see Diogo Jota coming on as well. And even if he is thinking about the weekend, which he quite possibly will be in the game against Newcastle United, to have a weapon like Diogo Jota back in your team, who often leads the press and is a real handful, a nuisance, and a goal getter.
He's a goal getter.
That's great. That's great for them. And they're pleased to see him. Scores Liverpool 2, Everton 0 on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action live right now for $11.99, no contract, including Liverpool-Everton. Search Now Sports. Another threat to deal with, Kevin, for that Everton back line.
Yeah, it doesn't stop, does it? You know, you look at the quality that Liverpool have in the team and on the bench. You know, what Everton would give for some of that quality.
Well, if only they had £500 million to spend. Here is Cody into Onana, back to Idrissa Gana Gueye, who's been robbed by Cody Gakpo.
Salah didn't fancy that 50-50 with Tarkowski, did he?
And then there was the 50-50 between Tarkowski and Salah, and there was only one winner because eventually it was an 80-20.
You'd be smart with that one.
Yes,
you were smart with that one.
Do you know what that's called? That's called game management, isn't it?
Big time.
Might be career management as well.
Yeah.
20 minutes to go. 2-0 to Liverpool. Ball in the centre circle. It's picked up by Idrissa Gana Gueye. He tucks it back, and it's clipped forward by Tarkowski. They've got to try and somehow construct some more creativity. They do have a couple of players coming back shortly. James Garner's on his way back. Andros Townsend too. Everton, they need to find a way to pick open defences. At the moment they're playing the ball around on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area but not really going anywhere. Tarkowski's got it now centre field.
You need runners, Sam. They need runners. They need people who are going to be looking to penetrate that Liverpool defence. Everything's in front of them, not good enough.
Yep, it will be on this near side. Everton, the only Premier League team not to sign a player in January, and they've given the ball away, and now Jota can lead the break over the halfway line to Cody Gakpo. Gakpo, with Everton now getting numbers back behind the ball. Sean Dyche and Steve Stone in deep conversation down in front of us, and Tom Davis warming up on this near touchline, and Liverpool being able now just to rest with the ball and take it slow and keep hold of possession.
It's too easy. They look a bit heavy-legged, Everton. Can't get near to the Liverpool team, not often enough. Like flying in against Arsenal. Maybe he's worked them again in training.
I was going to ask you actually, is there
they look heavy-legged?
Maybe that because they've had 8 days. Has he worked them maybe to the point where they've actually feeling the effects now?
Yes,
that could happen.
Here's Robertson into the penalty area, looking for Salah. Is at the back post, it's over his head, and it goes out and away for a throw over on the far side.
That definitely could happen when you do work a bit too much, but I think the thinking of that is for the rest of the season, as opposed to you're going to suffer maybe in 1 or 2 games.
Yep.
But for the rest of the season, you're going to be right at it.
Yes. It might take 3 or 4 games, but then you get the lift.
Yes.
They are tumbling into a scenario that they should have seen coming. They have their fewest points after 21 games of any Premier League season, but their previous fewest was 19 points, which they picked up last season. So it's becoming a bit of a habit. They're on a downward spiral.
It's a habit that they have to break.
I think they need to think about maybe playing Iwobi right back, because if Patterson isn't fit, Coleman's really struggling. I think he could have with a bit more legs and a bit more strength, could have easily stopped both the goals. Coleman.
Liverpool just passing the ball from one side to the other, trying to open up Everton. It hasn't happened just yet, but they are quite comfortable on the ball. They're not really being tested now in the game, and there's 17 minutes to go. and they could do more damage to Everton if they want to put their foot to the floor, and I think Jurgen Klopp will be hoping that they do, because they do need to shake the cobwebs off a little bit, Liverpool. Jota into Fabinho back to halfway, and now it's with Gomez just short of the centre circle, over towards Matip, down the right it goes to Salah, who's again, his ball's not crisp enough down the right to Alexander-Arnold, and it's headed away by McNeil, chested down by Gay, back to Tarkowski, and then Tarkowski under pressure from Alexander-Arnold, who's right high up inside Everton territory, plays a couple of passes infield, it comes back to Cody, and then they're able to clear despite the pressure from Diogo Jota. Coleman into Iwobi, it is a good ball, and on that halfway line he's immediately harassed, and then Coleman under pressure from Jota kicks the ball clear. A free kick is given for the foul by Jota on this near touchline, 10 yards short of the halfway line. 2-0.
Sam, I tell you this about Everton. To play this way, you have to be virtually perfect, because against quality opposition, when you attack, they are going to start to penetrate you and pick you off with speed and quality. So Everton, they're going to have to. They're not going to play teams like Liverpool all the time, which is a good thing.
Ball out to the far side. It's collected by McNeil, who's trying to get beyond Alexander-Arnold, who pinches the ball off him and now can set Liverpool away. Doesn't need to go on the accelerator and comes infield instead. Gives it to Henderson. It's flicked over the top of the midfield to Bajcetic, and then he turns elegantly and plays it out to the wide right position, looking for Alexander-Arnold. Again, they stop the ball, keep hold of it. No need to pressurise. No need to go on the full court press in opposition territory and start trying to smother Everton. They can just keep hold of the ball and bide their time and try and pick their way through, which they're not going to be able to do with a ball like that.
He's done well, Trent. He's won that battle against McNeil. I know McNeil hasn't had much of the ball, to be fair to him, in attacking areas, but Trent's been really solid defensively most of the time. And
they've robbed the assist off him, by the way, for the second goal. The cross taking a touch off Mikalenko, and because it changed its intended destination.
It did, to be fair.
So no assist for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Currently Liverpool 2, Everton 0. And for the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes. Back Liverpool to score next at 7-5. Back Everton to score next at 19-4. If you think there'll be no third goal, you can back it at evens. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. It's 18+. Be gamble aware.org. This is Talksport. And Coleman is backpedaling under pressure from Jota. Gakpo shutting down Idrissa Gana Gueye. And now the ball collected by Cody, who strides up towards the centre circle. He plays it wide to Mikalenko. There's no one to play the ball forward to, because there's no runners beyond the Liverpool defence, Kevin Campbell, and it's quite frustrating for Everton supporters.
It is frustrating, you know. Sometimes they get good possession in the midfield, but they keep going backwards. Just don't seem to have the experience or the know-how how to penetrate teams, and if you don't do that,
well, you need a passer. You need someone who can open up a defence, and there's not that many of them around in this Everton squad that you look at and think he's got the capability about picking up his head and playing a through ball down the sides for a runner or over the top. It's all a bit safe, Kev.
But you know what, Dan? Sometimes if you've got runners going, it doesn't need to be a great goal, you know.
It doesn't, mate. No.
Two changes, and on comes Neil Maupay and Tom Davis. Anana coming off, and I think that's when Neil was coming over from the far side as well. So a little shift around for Sean Dyche and his men. What difference will that make, Kevin?
I think Neil Maupay's more of a centre forward, obviously, at the top end of the pitch. He's going to make a nuisance of himself, but he's one of them who will try and get in between centre halves. And I think they've moved Omari Gray up to the left, who's going to be a lot more comfortable out there, and he's going to offer, hopefully, more of a threat going forward, and someone who can pick the ball up and beat his man on the outside.
Tom Davis coming on as well for Amadou Onana.
Surprised at that. He's got a little knock or something, but I'm surprised at that. Although it's not been his best game, he's still got that capability, especially his aerial ability, his pace to get in behind and maybe beat someone.
You know what, Dan? Maybe just looking at it and thinking, let's save him for another day.
Yeah. Well, it might be what you said earlier about Liverpool. They're thinking about Saturday and that game against Leeds.
I know, but the thing is, you're 2-0 down, and he is one of your better goal threats. You've got 13 minutes left. I don't know.
And Liverpool can't keep clean sheets.
It's true.
And they keep conceding goals, but they haven't conceded one tonight, which maybe says more about Everton than it does about Liverpool's performance.
Well, you can only beat what's in front of you, can't you? And tonight this hasn't been an Everton side that's got creativity and confidence in abundance, so credit to Liverpool, but they'll have tougher tests in the weeks coming, that's for sure.
They certainly will, thick and fast. Change, on comes Milner for Henderson, and then a big moment, because we're going to see Cody Gakpo replaced by Roberto Firmino, and after a long period out with injury, he is back, and he has been given a massive hug by Jurgen Klopp, because he knows how important he could be over the course of the season. Didn't get into the Brazil squad, he was upset by that, but he is back in the Liverpool ranks once again. Henderson gives Klopp a big hug, and they pat each other on the back. They know that this is an important result. They know that this is a vital result, Danny, if they're going to turn this season around.
Well, it takes the pressure off temporarily, doesn't it? That's for sure. Beating the rivals, good solid performance, getting players fit again. They'll go into training with a spring in their step.
Alexander-Arnold gets the ball switched out to him, and he in turn sends a lovely ball out to Salah. He can't beat Mikalenko, and it's cleared away by Everton, and it's picked up by Damari Gray, who moves up to the halfway line. Matic trying to win it, does win it, manages to follow it into midfield, and then runs out of room, loses control of the ball, and it goes back to Everton with 10 minutes left to play here on Talksport, and it's Liverpool 2, Everton 0. Ball bent round the corner for Iwobi. Is there a sting in the tail from Everton incoming? He flicks the ball towards the far post. Tom Davies is arriving, and Alisson is in no man's land, and he's headed the ball over the top of the crossbar.
That was a great chance.
And it's behind and away into the Kop, and what an opportunity that was for Everton to get on the score sheet. A floated ball from the right-hand side by Iwobi towards Tom Davies, and he's headed the ball over the top of the crossbar with Alisson almost vacant in his goal.
That was a gilt-edged chance. Just got to hit the target, but it's probably just too soon for him. I know it may sound crazy, but he's only just got on the pitch.
Well, Kev's got more credibility in talking about heading the ball than I, because I wasn't the best, let me tell you, but that is a bad miss. And it's a rare opportunity for Everton. It started, Damari Gray, I have to say, he's only been on the pitch, 10 minutes? He's already had a bit of quality and a bit of danger and a bit of jeopardy. How he's not in their 11, I'll never know. I know they got a good result last week without him, but he's got to be in their team, Kev.
Yeah, he does add something that they don't really have, doesn't he? A bit of injection of speed.
And he's their top goal scorer.
Yeah, so goals is the big thing.
Yeah.
I am going to come back to you with a question. Why do you let him off the bad header? Because he hasn't been on the pitch very long. I'll come back to it in just a second. The ball has been nicked by Bajcetic, and it's 4-on-2 in Liverpool's favour. They're counter-attacking here. Salah, deflection off to Tarkowski, who went diving in front of the Egyptian, and it's deflected over the top and out for a corner.
Well, Jota is shaking his head, because actually, and it's great play from the young kid, he's nice and calm, Bajcetic, but the pass to the left was the one. He wants to give it Salah, I think, because I don't know, maybe you think he's the top goal scorer, he's the one who's going to finish, but the pass to Jota was the one on the left. Just made the wrong decision and gave Tarkowski the chance.
And you asked, why do I give Tom Davies a pass?
Please, you remember.
Because he's a midfielder. He's a midfielder who hasn't played a lot of football, and he's just come on in the derby, and I think that chance, I think if he was on the pitch for about 15-20 minutes, he would have had a better chance of taking it.
Okay, a ball headed away by Davis, a better header there, from the corner kick, and it's gone back in again by Trent Alexander-Arnold, left on by Iwobi, straight to the path of Matip, and Iwobi didn't realise that he's actually shooting the other way in the second half, and almost fed Matip to score a goal. Mopé went breaking away up towards the halfway line. Milner went scything in for a tackle. Mopé thinks it was a foul. The referee said it isn't. Mopé, who's never short of a word or two, is making sure everybody knows what he thinks about it. But the play continues. 7 minutes to go before the end of the game. It's 2-0. Alexander-Arnold looking for Milner. Travelling across the floor to intercept was
But just to go on again, it goes out over on the far touchline. The scores Liverpool 2, Everton 0 on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. And interesting that across Klopp's 414 games as Liverpool manager, he's used Roberto Firmino more than any other player. So he'll be delighted to have him back in the squad and available.
Well, he was actually, Sam, if you recall, and I'm sure you will because you've got memory like an elephant,
scoring a lot of goals.
Well, he had a great first bit.
He did.
First bits of the season, he was scoring. He was. I think he was arguably the best Liverpool player for the first 3 months.
He used to have a trunk like an elephant as well till the nose job. Challenge from Fabinho in the centre of midfield.
The only thing you did have like an elephant.
You said memory just a minute ago.
Yeah, I meant memory.
Oh, right, okay,
because you've lost the other.
The trunk for the nose. He's trying to stir it, you know. Monday nights are always fun on Talksport. Free kick was given against Doucouré for that collision with Fabinho just in front of the centre circle. We've got 6 minutes to go and you are listening to Talksport. And Gomez has it on halfway with Liverpool trying to pick their way through to their first victory in this calendar year after a barren run which has lacked goals, lacked incision, lacked momentum. Maybe they can start to build some now. Maybe they can see a brighter horizon with injuries starting to clear up. Big players on the bench tonight. Van Dijk's on there as well, so he's heading back to full fitness. Robertson looks a different player tonight as well. He looks revved up and raring to go. Jordan Pickford's just come out of his penalty area. He's confronted Andrew Robertson for no reason. He's bundled into him. The two of them have exchanged words. Cody's trying to calm it down now. Coleman's dragging him away. Pickford's still getting involved. Completely unnecessary. And after all that, Simon Hooper's just got to sort it out. And now Van Dijk is getting involved on the touchline. And Robertson's still going. And Cody's come across. And then Wobie is chasing after him. And now all the benches are coming out from their technical areas and getting involved. And even the stewards are too. Robertson is being pulled back by Diogo Jota. And it's all got a little bit unseemly.
Crazy, really. It seems so innocuous.
It is innocuous.
You know, Robertson does what any fullback would do. He just knocks it away. And he's looking to go back, but Everton obviously the feelings are very high, and it's uncalled for.
Kostas Tsimikas is being taken down the touchline after getting involved with Andre Onana. Both of those, by the way, are on the bench, so they're not even involved in the game, but they just happen to have come out and started to get involved in the fracas. The referee eventually has calmed things down. He's having a word with the captain.
I mean, Tsimikas is thinking he's going to take on Onana. I mean, talk about brains. Pick your fights.
He just wanted to say hello.
Onana was looking down on him from a very...
I remember once upon a time we played Celtic away many years ago, and I upset Bobo Balde. I didn't realise, and he was waiting for me in the tunnel after. Let's say I didn't go in for a while. And thank God I had a Mieleski with me.
Well, after all that, I think what we get, a yellow card for Robertson and a yellow card for Pickford. That was it. There we are. Well, that's probably all it required, really, wasn't it? And we play on, and we go back to where we were with time ticking away for Everton, and Liverpool running down the clock trying to get to the full-time whistle now without any problems. They might get an extra goal, and Firmino has sent away Salah, who skipped past the challenge of Mikalenko into the penalty area, bent it left for the in towards the near post, saved by Pickford and turned round the post and out for a corner kick. A brilliant reaction from Liverpool, who sprung into life on the halfway line. Firmino linking with his partner Salah once again. It was a lovely take by Firmino. He poked it into Salah's path. He went beyond Mikalenko in diving in, and he created the chance for himself.
You can see the difference when Liverpool attack to when Everton attack. Everton are laboured.
Yeah.
Liverpool are very lively, and they tend to get in behind Everton too much.
Corner delivered by Salah towards Jota. It comes back into the penalty after it's half cleared by Everton. Bajcetic keeps it alive. Milner's got it right side. Milner pokes it into Alexander-Arnold. Salah brings it down right footed. Volley hits. Coleman goes out. It's another corner. Liverpool just putting a bit of late pressure in with 2 minutes to go on Talksport. And the Everton fans are getting bullied now by the Liverpool supporters, who have already talked about them going down and how they might be dispatched into the second tier. Darvel had been dispatched by Falkirk. That escalated quickly. It was only a few minutes ago that it was 2-1, and Peter Morrison had got them back in it. It's finished 5-1 in that game as the corner comes in towards the back edge of the penalty area. Matip with an uncontested header heads it sort of square. It was almost as if his head was 50p shaped, and it came off at the wrong angle, and it went back into the 18-yard box, and it's cleared away by Everton. We're into the final minute on Talksport, and Liverpool heading for their first win in 5 Premier League games. They needed this. They had struggled at home this season. They failed to win 5 of the last 12 home matches before tonight, which is why in that first half there was a bit of an edge about the crowd.
Exactly, Sam. I was speaking to a couple of people earlier, and I think when me and Aidan took in as well, and I thought the first goal was crucial tonight because it settled Liverpool down, it settled the supporters down, and it made the players feel a bit more confident on the ball to try things, and you could see the tempo go up. And for Everton, of course, it gave them a mountain to climb. If it had gone the other way, that first one would hit the post and gone in, I think we might have seen a different game tonight. But that's football, isn't it?
It is. It's very small margins. But you know what, Dan? I honestly think Liverpool just had a bit too much quality.
Yeah, I do.
Today.
I do.
Keita and Elliott on, Salah and Bajcetic are on.
I think also as well, the difference, the level in the forward players played tonight, it might be coincidence, but when you see what's on the bench and what game's coming up, all of a sudden you're looking behind you instead of thinking, I know I'm playing every game now, I better play well, because if not, these boys are back.
That's
I'm going to lose my place.
That's right.
We've hit the 90 minutes, and there'll be 4 have added at the end of the 90 here at Anfield tonight, where Liverpool have really bossed the encounter. Not the best Liverpool performance you've seen all season, but it's a step in the right direction as they look to try and emerge from their slumber, and it has been a slumber at the start of this calendar year, that's for sure. Milner picks it up, looks to launch it forward immediately up towards Jota, who tries to hold it up after a collision with Coleman. Referee says play on. Coleman did nothing wrong despite the physical attention he was giving Jota, and then Elliott tries to win it back ahead of Davis. I wonder what would have happened if Tom Davis had scored that header from Iwobi's cross with 15 minutes to go.
It made life a little bit more difficult for Liverpool, not to say the least, but Everton just haven't had the quality, especially in the last third. Whatever they've had in the last third, they haven't been good enough to take the chances.
First goal was all important tonight, wasn't it, Dan?
It was indeed, mate. Yeah, the confidence around the place, the feel-good factor around Anfield came back quite quickly as soon as that goal went in. And there's been lots of positives, you know, players getting back fit. First goal for Gakpo, standing ovation for Nunez, which will do him the world of good. I know he's not scored again, but he's been tremendous tonight. The young kid's growing in confidence, arguably his best game in a Liverpool shirt. Bajcetic. And Virgil on the bench, although he hasn't come on, obviously he's close to fitness, so lots of positives for Liverpool tonight.
Everton last relegated in 1951. The struggle for positives goes on. Sean Dyche has experienced this before. He can roll his sleeve up and get involved in the Premier League's boondocks, that's for sure. Here is Coleman on the right-hand side, trying to profit from a cross which is coming from the left, but it's been dealt with just about by Liverpool. Under pressure, Doucouré putting Robertson under pressure. It's come back out of Coleman, right-footed cross towards the middle of the box. It's over the head of everyone in blue and then smashed away by Elliott towards the half.
No quality, no lack of quality. It's really poor, really poor.
Thing is, Kev, as well, there was no conviction in the cross.
No.
You know, when you try and do the right thing by whipping it into an area and you might miss it, that's fair enough, I can live with it, but it was a bit safe.
Yeah, too safe. It's too safe.
Yeah, well, will Everton be safe? That's the big question going forward. And Liverpool about to inflict their 50th ever win against Everton at Anfield in all competitions. It will take them above Chelsea into 9th, and Everton will remain firmly ensconced in the bottom 3. And there will be more work to do for Sean Dyche, but I think he knew that. There is Jurgen Klopp, who has been trying to rebuild this team on the fly. It's like trying to repair an aircraft while you're still flying it across the Atlantic. It's not easy, especially in the Premier League when everyone's throwing money around like you wouldn't believe. And they're certainly not doing that as much anymore, Liverpool. They only signed Cody Gakpo in the January transfer window, but they probably need a midfield reinforcement at some stage. That might come in the summer, but for now they've got to make do and mend with the resources that they have. They need European football next season. The top four might be beyond them, but certainly they will want to be playing some version of European competition when it comes to next year, especially if they're going to attract top talent to this football club, which is what they'll want to do. We're into the 94th minute of the game.
They would have to have an unbelievable run of form to get back into that top four,
and someone would have to collapse as well. Here's Milner down the right side. Oh, he's in behind the defence. He set the ball towards Jota, but it was a good intervention by Conor Cody. The ball was just a little bit short, and it's cut out and cleared away by Cody.
The angle wasn't good. Yeah, that's why he passed it. But he tried to do the right thing.
Well, Liverpool have done the right thing more often than not tonight, and that hasn't always been the case. Liverpool is red for tonight anyway, and finally Jurgen Klopp has his first Premier League win of 2023. It's the first time they have won in the league since 2 own goals from Wout Faes helped them beat Leicester on December the 30th. Sean Dyche could get Everton organised to beat the league leaders, but taking the short trip to Anfield is always tricky for the Toffees, and they have found that to their cost again. It's their 4th defeat in 5 visits, and they are still firmly in the bottom 3. Mo Salah with the opening goal, which seemed to put Liverpool on the right road. Cody Gakpo with his first ever strike in red has come in a Merseyside derby, and it's clinched all 3 points. Liverpool 2, Everton 0.